What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the IFTV podcast, joined by Peter Curto to my right, looking as beautiful as ever in your capello. We've got across from you, Antonio. I can't say the same.
You can say the goat.
About him.
You can say the goat.
You were feeding the goats.
I did, actually.
Actually, you missed the Italy game because you were apple picking.
Yeah, that's right. And I was feeding the goats.
You were a good boy that day. Mike.
I was feeding the
next to
horses
him.
too, Mike.
You were.
The donkeys, the horses.
They make noises?
We have
Not
donkeys
really,
in this
not really.
studio.
No.
There were rooster chickens, a lot of stuff.
It probably did better than watching Italy at this point.
That's right. Who
So,
the hell was the waste time?
there's so much to celebrate. We officially have qualified for the playoff round of World Cup qualifying.
Where's the champagne? So sick.
Where are the bubbles?
Not even a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
il calcio champagne.
We're just missing the
We're a little
champagne.
flat.
Il calcio champagne senza bollicine means without bubbles.
Without bubbles, so flat.
Flat. Oh, flat, it means flat. No
Guys,
bubbles.
trust me,
Okay.
it could be worse.
It can be worse.
Greece is officially out, right?
It's okay.
Pete, Mike, at least you don't have to worry about it. You know, missing the game or putting the TV
You don't
on.
got to
I'd
spend the
rather
money on the
worry.
tickets.
I'd rather worry.
Michele, you don't got to spend the money on the tickets.
I'd rather worry.
Kidding me?
We do need one day. It won't be today. We have too many other things to discuss. But one day we will talk about the European qualification process, which to me, they keep expanding this format. And we're going into the same exact thing that we did last time.
We need more teams.
We went from...
We need more teams then.
We upgraded to 16 teams, I think, is what we added.
20.
Yet Italy
5.
today, like I mentioned, we officially qualified for the playoff round, and it's the exact same format. I have the teams that we could play coming up here, but it's the same thing. Semifinal, which we would be at home for, and then it's a draw to decide who we play and where we play for the second match. Reminder, last time we did not go through against North Macedonia. That was the first match. We would have had to play Portugal in the second one. Luckily, so far as it's looking, we probably won't play one of those bigger teams, but maybe for Italy it's better to play a bigger team because anytime we have to play one of the smaller guys, for some reason we don't show up. I want to ask you, Peter, you're the most logical person that we have on the podcast.
I think Mike is pretty logical.
No, you're pretty...
You're the most logical.
Yeah, I would
we'll give it to you. So yes, we've scored so many goals.
Up from the bottom.
People are writing about the stats. Oh, we've never scored this much since the coach has come. For me, I'm left watching the game and I don't even think my expectations are high. Yeah, maybe they're still too high for this team that not scoring the amount of goals that we actually do need to try to make up from Norway, which has never been in the history of Italian football. But either way, we're playing Estonia and we're playing Israel. Am I expecting too much, or are you satisfied because you're seeing that we win 3-0, 4-5, 5-4?
Well, you leave alone, leave aside the result. This was a poor performance on Italy's behalf, especially the first half. We luckily, not luckily, but we were able to get the penalty at the end that changed how we can kind of come out in the second half. And even in the second half, Israel looked more lively in the first 15 minutes before Italy were able to score the second. So, I mean, this 3-0 result is a lie, in how we played. And to argue, I guess, to the other points that you mentioned as far as scoring goals. So first, I would say, yeah, we're scoring goals, but look how easy it is to let in goals. Like versus Israel, the first game, we scored 4, but we let in 3. And I think we show this fragileness that we've never really seen before. As well as the fact that, hey, the reality is Norway's scoring 5 goals a game. They even got to 11. And which is unheard of, and Italy knew that they have to score goals, and that's the reason why you're putting more goals in the back of the net. Because let's face it, if Italy were in first place, it would have been cruise control, trying to get the 1-2-0 wins as we've always been accustomed to seeing. So I think it's just upsetting in the performances. But maybe we have to come to a realization that we are a fragile Italy. So 2 things that I'll say is teams, countries do not have any fear
100%
playing versusItaly.
Yep.
And exactly, there's no reason to be afraid or to think, we're playing versus Italy, because the way that we can lose games like this, we have these blackouts that we were never accustomed to seeing, and to be quite honest, it's just always it's like repetitive. Every freaking year, same players are in the mix.
But
Try something different. Try something different. But listen, it's not anything to say against Gattuso. He's come to a hard situation. He did what he had to do. He got all the points that he needs to get, and he's in this playoff position. But unfortunately, we don't have this direct route to the World Cup.
You could talk.
I just want to jump in real quick. I also feel like it's kind of strange where, whatever, it's not an excuse, but Norway played their 2 matches like weeks before Italy even started. And I feel like that gives a mental disadvantage to Italy or advantage to Norway in that, because you already feel like you're on the back foot when you didn't even start your campaign. So I feel like a lot of these games, it would be beneficial for everybody when they play the same day or the same time, rather than giving it that much break. And I get that it was because UEFA Nations League, but then it also amounts to the point where there's way too many games for.
And then the first game is against Norway. And the crazy thing about this format, and to Mike's point, I agree with you. We shouldn't need that. Like Italy shouldn't need that.
Yeah, but
it does affect.
For sure affects.
To me, it's just crazy that Italy, you lose one game. You lose one game in qualification, and all of a sudden, you have to score 17 goals, 18 goals. Like, there's something wrong there. But again, that's something that I think we could argue for another day. There's also the Italian Federation that I think threw this team under the bus in a lot of ways, where Spalletti was in charge for those games. And if you look at the lineup, you want to cry when you look at who actually played in that game. Not understanding the importance of that match, not changing beforehand to give Gattuso, to your credit, to your point, the ability to actually have the team and to find some new spirit. So it's not a knock on Gattuso. I think he has. I still don't think he knows exactly how this team needs to play. I think he's played different formations and different lineups that I don't agree with. I don't agree with a lot of the selections that he's made, but he is thrown into a tough situation and he's trying to get the most out of it. So that's not the point. The point to me is when I'm watching this first half, especially, and even the second half, you just look at Italy and you say, you're scared. Guys, you're actually scared.
It's like watching
to lose
Juventus
the game.
playing.
Everything was safe. There's about 5-6 players that you can name on this team that every time they got the ball, safe. Oh, let me not make a mistake. Let me not risk too much. We're so scared that Israel will counterattack us that we're like, okay, let's not risk it. What we did is we played it out wide to try to cross the ball. That was our only chance. And then we got the penalty kick. The game changed a little bit. But even for the standards that we have for this team, even though we know we're not a power, we're not one of the favorites, all that stuff, we don't have the most talent, it's sad that when I watch a team, I see a team that doesn't know their strength. I watch a U21 team, and I told you guys before, I watch a U21, and I see a team that knows their qualities, that knows the formation to play, that wants to take the game to the opponent, no matter what, whether they have good quality or bad qualities. Maybe they're going to lose the game, but they know exactly how they want to play. 4-3-3, fast, direct, get in behind, ball out wide to the wingers. I mean, I'm more enjoying watching the U21s than I am the first team.
Listen, 100% spot on, as always. But you're watching Italy's playing. Even when you're eating sweets, you leave, the game ends, and you have a sour taste on your mouth. I said, this is not Italy. Even with candies on your mouth.
You get cavities with the...
No, and it's not got to do with cavity. The game, it's not there. It's not who we are. It's not we are. Before everybody, we're going to play Italy. Everybody, they play their best game of their life. It's like their life was on the line. Forget about the game or the qualification. Right now, like he said, Italy, we're going to play Italy. No, we didn't even have the train. Just a bunch of idiots. Just... They play us like we don't belong over there. And, rightly so. Gattuso, I feel kind of bad for him because a bunch of players, a bunch of coaches were not selected or they rejected the offer to take the team over from Spalletti.
Ranieri was one.
Ranieri
was the main one.
So Mancini wanted to get back into the picture. But now this Gattuso has been found himself with this big mess, with this problem. And, been trying to criticize Gattuso. Gattuso is doing the best that he can with what he has. He's been dealt those cards, and they're all bad. I said, we're not going to play now. Oh, my God. They all there is no ace. There is no... I'm not a poker player, Mike, but what are the most valuable cards in poker? The ace, and then what?
We got the point.
You got the point, right? So the cards are bad. the dealer, he gave you nothing but bad cards. So Gattuso is trying to fake it and mitigate.
So everyone's gonna say, because I tweeted out after the Estonia game, which I thought I was really disappointed, and people said, "Oh, you're so negative. Italy's never been a team that scores goals." But I say to myself, when you watch the quality, when you watch the fear, the lack of ideas, that's the problem that hurts me. We're playing against teams that we should be able to still, even with the quality that we have, we should be able to run up the score. We made up 2 goals in a game that we were desperate to get more. When I watch Norway, and okay, you're going to say they have more quality than us, but it's also here. It's the mentally. They miss a penalty. If we miss 2 penalties the way Norway missed their penalty early on, I think this team would have crumbled. They don't have that edge. They don't have that ruthlessness. Norway scores a goal. They want to kill you. They want to keep going. They want to score second or third or fourth. That's why they have so many goals. So I think maybe you're going to say we never had that in the past. Italy's never. But also the quality of players is completely different. The quality of competition, who we're playing against. The 4 games that we're talking about, Gattuso's first 4 games, it's 2 times Israel, 2 times Estonia. I mean, come on, we got to take that into consideration.
I think there's a deeper rooted problem than what we're talking about, or at least what I'm hearing. Yes, you can say that Italy don't have the Tottis, the Del Pieros that they had before, but by no stretch they're bad players at all. I think Italy has, if you see them face value, they all play in top leagues. For most part, top teams. I think they shouldn't have a problem, first of all, qualifying. First of all, they should go. It's not like Norway. Okay, they have Haaland, one world-class player, compared to
Lars Odegaard.
Okay, yeah, but look at Italy's too. Italy's all they play at top clubs. Why are we talking like that? I think the bigger thing is their lack of ideas, their lack of creativity, and I think the biggest thing is the lack of mentality. Because you guys are talking like, oh, bad team, blah blah, like they're Serie B players. They're all playing in top. Okay, like they're not all world-class players, but a lot. They shouldn't have to be. You guys have Italy has great enough players to do the damage, to not worry about this from all the fear I'm hearing about it. I think it's the mentality instilled in this team.
I think
at the end of the day, Norway shouldn't be beating Italy like that.
No. First
but it's
off,
okay. It's 1 game. I'm not as mad about
it's that game that ultimately decides our future. So that's the unfortunate part.
But with Israel too, the first game, I mean, that shouldn't be happening.
A lot of confusion. 5-4 even. I'd said 4-3, 5-4.
But looking at that, you would think Israel has the same quality as Italy, and that's completely. Italy will blow them out of the water in terms of quality.
They got freaking Perez in the midfield. The guy was playing Serie B Venezia. I was like, where do I know this name from? And I said, how the hell does he look so good?
Yeah.
I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think, to your point, right? We have a lot of good players.
Yes.
But all these players do not fit in a certain formation.
It's true.
And that's my big. That's
part of the coaching.
That's part of the coaching. Right? But also Gattuso has had limited time.
I get that.
He needs to still figure out what's going to work best for him, and he's put at a tough spot because all the players know they got to keep on scoring goals. And so even with risking, you're going to allow goals to concede goals. But what I'm getting at is, first off, probably Italy's best player doesn't play consistently in the league and hasn't been called up in recent time, which is Chiesa. He's the only player that has the qualities to be able to take his man on 1v1. Okay, but that was a player that led us to the Euro win. The victory.
I watch a game if that guy gets into the field.
Okay. So by picking a Chiesa, I think that adds quality into this team that is seriously lacking on that side of the half. I think Politano, we've seen he's secured his spot. Obviously we'll see what happens moving forward, but he gives us something. So these 2 players work well in a 4-3-3. Now what happens? You have to take away or pick between Keane and Retegui. Now you have to figure out, okay, how can we play all these players all together? Then Raspadori, where does he play? He needs to be more in a trequartista role or as the second striker.
But you're talking about options.
No,
it's a luxury.
No, there is options. But what I'm saying is we're not putting all of our best players into the same time. Di Marco cannot play in a back 4.
Exactly.
Di Lorenzo cannot play in a back 4. He has to be as that third, or he has got to be at the wing back, and then you're losing the quality going forward. He's not. So there's a lot of things that I think Gattuso still has to figure out. But more importantly, as Italy, we have to be able to recognize certain players. And guess what? Even if the player is not playing in his league, we've seen many national teams they're still going to call up their player based on what he can. No, Retegui, yes, but I'm saying a Ricci, for example. A Ricci, we don't have another player with his qualities right now. Locatelli is not a regista. He's not going to be able to move that ball forward. So even if Ricci's not starting for a Milan, we have to also tip our hat. He's behind a Modric and give him a chance to freaking play some of the games.
I get what you're
See something different.
Pete, I agree with you, okay? But let me just say something. With all of these negativities that we have, Gattuso's not by himself on the bench. He's got Bonucci over there. He goes and he whispers something on his ear. He's got Buffon. He's got a lot of his whole buddies. You're telling me between 3 or 4 of them, they cannot figure it out how to put the team on the field in a position to do damage. Hold on.
I'll let you say it, but I don't think it's more. Gattuso, I think he recognizes this. He's just trying to figure out what's the best way to be able to get wins and play the players that he wants to play. He's been playing a 4-4-2, which is one of the safest.
4-4-2 is
one of the safest formations because you have the double wing plays to be able to defend well, and going forward you could add them and have them attack. So he's trying to just make sure that we get through this stage. At least now he knows in the back of his head he's qualified for a playoff, so he has the time to stabilize, and he has the time now to work on these next few games leading up to go for a playoff.
He subbed into the game against Estonia when we need to score goals. He subs in Spinazzola and who's the other? Cambiaso. For Orsolini, and I think it was Raspadori at the time. And then he puts Cristante and Fratesi. Mama, when I saw that come in.
I think they really got to think about that because we've seen in the past, a lot of coaches did a lot more with a lot less, and I don't think we should.
Conte would walk us to the World Cup.
That's one of the many examples.
The other guys did it.
If Gattuso's really struggling, and I'm not blaming, it's not an easy job to take over, and he did it out of the love of his heart or whatever. But I'm saying, and this is qualifiers too. You know what I'm saying?
To your point, though, he did just say that we were just listening to the press conference. And I never thought about this. He is risking a lot. You're absolutely right.
100%.
He said, if I don't get Italy to the World Cup, he said, I'm moving away from Italy. I'm going to go far away.
Sure.
So it is a lot of pressure to your point.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's doing it because he loves, for his country. He's doing it because of that. But you also got to think about, yes, Gattuso's great, nice guy. But at the end of the day, you want to go to the World Cup. You want to compete. So you got.
There's no other options too. We had nobody out there.
You know what the sad part?
Yeah, but I'm saying till the World Cup, I'm sure options will come up.
You know what the sad part of all of these things here, with all of this negativity that we are putting on the table right now, if you look at the paper or just at the Gazzetta tomorrow, you're going to see all the stats. Number of passes completed, 90%. Number of passes, shot on target, 70%.
The most goals scored in 4 games.
4 games. I mean, there is a culture over there that try to emphasize numbers that do not belong into the sport and do not represent not even the game that is being played. So this is what I think it gets to me. I says, why we reduce the soccer to this?
Can I tell you a stat? Can I tell you one stat?
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is to your point.
Stat or stat?
Stats. Matteo Retegui has more goals for the Italian national team than Francesco Totti. So, by numbers, in half the games. So, by numbers, Retegui's better than Totti.
I don't think so. You're not even close.
But you know what I'm saying?
Those
are the things where you can't just look at.
What I'm trying to tell you, that those stats, they mean nothing at the end of the day.
It's not that they don't mean anything. They don't tell you the full story. The point is, they don't tell you the full story.
You can't take them face value. You got to use them.
Mike, they counted the passage on the back.
Statistics are made to be able to.
The pass back, they call it like a.
It's not the
100% pass succession.
It's not the whole picture, the stats. You got
but that's because you have computer nerds that are figuring out what
that's what people say. That's what they'll say. Oh no, look, we look good. We did this.
Look at this number.
Guys, if I watch the game, you can't lie. My eyes don't like it.
I would also say another point to figuring out formations. Look how unlucky. The left-footed center back is one of the most prized positions worldwide. Very rare to get. We have 3. So with that, you automatically are losing one of your best defenders.
Don't give me that BS.
It's the reality.
You can play with a five left.
You can't play 5 left footed center back.
They're going to be running into each other.
Even if you have Calafiori, where do you put him? Do you put him ahead of Bastoni? Then Buongiorno. So one of those guys are going to lose a spot. Yeah. Buongiorno probably is the one that could play centrally, and it's going to be Calafiori or Bastoni, or then one of them has to go play as a fullback, and you take away from Di Marco. So these are all things that again, like even with the fortune of a position that everyone is desperate for, we have an abundance of these players. We can't even play them all at the same time.
We're in balance. Absolutely right. We're going to talk about also the striker position because it's a good conversation. I want to give context for everybody out there on what it takes for Italy to go to the World Cup. What it takes. These are the two scenarios. As I mentioned, we are in the playoff qualifying automatically now, thankfully. There's still a chance to finish first place. It's nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. If Estonia could take anything away, it is Estonia. Estonia against Norway. That's our last hope. Norway will drop points, which the last game only ended 1-0.
Only if Estonia can lose by 15-1.
Hopefully it's freezing. It might be freezing in
They're going to
Estonia.
get clubbed.
I think it's in
Snowstorm.
Norway. I think
Snowstorm.
it's in Norway.
Oh boy.
That's one thing. And then Italy would have to play a real final against Norway. You still have to go up and beat Norway. But
Not happening.
that would be one
that'd
scenario.
be a great game.
The second scenario is Italy scores over 10 goals against Moldova, and then we beat Norway 3-0, and now we make up the qualification.
That's what it takes? Just 10 goals?
That's it. Just 10 and then 3.
Maybe Pier
So-
Esposito can score 7 or 8.
Is there a stat? When's the last time Italy scored more than 8?
Yeah, here we go.
More
with
than
the stats.
6.
The last and the most obvious one that we will have is the playoff. And if all the results happened today, remain as they are today, this is how it would work. It's 2 games. It's a semifinal and a final. We've been down this road before. We never made it to that final. The semifinal would be at Italy's home because we are pot 1, and it's a 1-game match, 1 final. At the moment, with the current results, this could change, but most likely we would play Wales, Romania, Sweden, or Northern Ireland.
Oof.
So Sweden, obviously the team that knocked us out the first time in the playoff, which was 2 legs. And
Thanks
Sweden
to you and your father that you went to Sweden to watch
went
the
to the
game.
first game, yeah, it's
See that?
true.
You remember
They're currently
that,
doing bad. They're last place, but they sacked their coach.
and they have amazing firepower.
Yeah.
They're not getting it.
Isaksen
Jokic and Isak and Hien in the back. So dangerous team. Wales, we know we played them as well in the Euros, and I was watching their match yesterday, and they look really good. That's a semifinal. Now the final. If you win that game, it goes to a draw to decide. They're gonna draw both of these things to decide who you play. It's also a draw to decide who's home and who's away in this final, which is a big deal
It's a draw for all the teams of shuffled pot, so it could be
for the final.
For the final. So it could be a good team or the lower.
I'm going to tell you which teams.
Okay.
In the final, it would be between Czechia, Hungary, Slovakia, Scotland, North Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia, or Kosovo.
All my favorites.
So it can be any of those.
All my favorites. if it's North Macedonia again, I'm gonna cry.
They tied with Belgium 2 times. I don't know if you guys saw.
They also tied with
couldn't
Kazakhstan.
believe.
As long as we don't have Jorginho taking the penalty, we are okay.
boy.
Right, Mike?
So the thing with North Macedonia
Jorginho.
is this team will crumble. This team will just absolutely crumble. I think if they have to play Sweden and North Macedonia again, I don't know. Do they have the courage?
The Katzim.
But the possibilities, you got a better
Also,
chance at other teams.
Hungary and Slovakia both have Italian coaches.
Hungary's not bad.
Always adds.
They
Hungary,
tied
they tied today
with
Portugal in the last minute. Soboslai scored. And Scotland scares me. Scotland.
Why? Why
They're not
scares
that
you?
good.
Nah.
Why
Scotland.
scares you?
You played them?
Yeah.
Mike, we lost to worse teams. So
Scotland, dude, we gave up all 3. I don't want to talk about Greece.
okay,
But
okay.
Scotland's really not
I actually saw
they're
the
all-
highlights. Dude, you guys passed them the ball.
Dude.
You were all over them.
We had. I don't want to talk about it because they're so not a very good. They're not a good team. I hope Italy get them just so you guys can destroy them.
Okay, but here's the point. On paper, every team that I mentioned, you would say Italy can win. The problem is Italy played down to their opponents. Italy has been knocked out by teams that they should have beaten before. We've seen them struggle. Sometimes it's better when Italy play the bigger team on paper. So it's really us against us. That's the way that I see it.
So we can only beat ourselves, you are saying,
For
right?
me. My perspective, maybe that's an arrogant thing to say. I think it is Italy against themselves. I don't think we lost games in the past because the opposition was better than us. I think that the pressure got to these guys. They're always looking ahead. I'll never forget Barella's quote where he says, we're looking at the Portugal game. We felt like we were not supposed to be in the playoffs. My only hope is that it's no surprise that we're in the playoffs. We've known for a while, and hopefully Gattuso could say, hey, listen, don't look past this team. We got to beat them today and get the
It's in
job
March.
done.
It's in March, right?
Listen, what if
Qualify first.
we don't make it?
Same
Why are you
shit.
so,
over.
One
why are you so
second.
happy?
Same
One
shit over
second,
again.
Why do you
One
bring that up?
second.
Same shit,
You don't
different
know
year.
what is coming out of my mouth right now. To me, it's going to be positive too. Because
Anto, this has happened twice.
Because we have to start from the below
But this
zero.
happened before. Anto, we never did it.
Gravina.
No, we never did it. Why didn't we do this in the past?
We started with a new
What's
philosophy
gonna change
saying
this
that
time?
every team is supposed to have at least 6 or 7 Italian kids starting.
What's gonna change this time?
Anto, we never change. We always
We
make
have
the same
to force ourselves to change the menu, start a new diet.
menu.
Yes, menu, not menu. We have to start.
Menu.
Look, Mike, you guys are rebuilding again? Or what's
Stop talking about
Mike, you guys, you are on the best spot, so you don't have to worry about what is going to happen.
rather worry.
We kind of know that even if we qualify,
We know.
we're going to get eliminated
No.
immediately from the first round.
What you're saying? If we go to the World Cup,
Yes.
Italy's such a weird team that by June you never know what they
The
see.
World Cup is different. It's not the same as qualify. You got it's a different grade.
That's also Italy. Italy might be the only nation in the world that could struggle to qualify, but then they go into a tournament and you say, oh,
That's why
they,
with the
they might
Euros-
win. They might pull something out.
Look at the Euros.
I swear.
You crazy. You must be sound something. You crazy. Check his temperature, please. I don't think the
No
guy
one
is
thought he was
right.
gonna win the Euros though, Anto.
He did. He's the only person that predicted it.
I saw what I was able to see something.
That team was
That in his
far beyond.
Immobile didn't score single
You can
goal.
even
yo,
close.
You guys went there without a striker.
You don't
and
even
now
close.
we have strikers. We have Retegui, who in the last 4 games he scored 5 goals and 4 assists. Retegui is on absolute fire. The second goal that he scored. When's the last time we've seen a goal like that? It reminded me of Insigne when he did it against Belgium.
And he stole the ball too.
He won the ball. But I'm just saying, like, we have that. We have Keane, who unfortunately got injured, but also Keane gives you that spirit, that running behind, the ability. So and now we got Francesco Pio Esposito, 20 years old, getting the experience, good at holding up, still has margins to grow. Of course, not going to be an immediate starter. But I'm saying, like, we have competition in this freaking position that Italy struggled for such a long time. And it's like whack-a-mole. Remember whack-a-mole, the game? You hit one, and then another problem pops up from the other side. It's like we fixed one thing, and now the defense all of a sudden became a disaster.
Yeah, but I think
guacamole. I never played this game.
defense is
that, mate?
not easy to fix, but it's about order and tactics and being able to have the tactical instruction to be able to keep things in place. I think for me, it's more the quality going forward that gives me an issue. We have 2 finishers, right? But they need service. And so that's my biggest thing. I think the defense will secure it. Let's not, I was talking with Mario and, Scalvini, this kid was supposed to be this big time defender, right foot. He's always injured. He's always injured. And that, that's unfortunate. But I think that's where, there's 2 positions that I think we need major upgrade. Leone as well.
The guy that got freaking injured.
2 major upgrades, I think, is the regista role, where we don't have anybody. Let's go back to the Euros. You had the quality in the midfield.
Yeah.
Verratti, Jorginho, Barella.
And Jorginho.
Barella and Tonali, those are 2 top guys. I heard Paul Scholes, who is a legend, right, says his favorite midfield in the Premier League is Sandro Tonali. So that's saying a lot. So we just need someone in that midfield that can add the quality, that can spray the ball and make the team move a lot quicker. Because you have Tonali and Barella, who are 2 engines, and they add the quality and defensive work rate. Di Lorenzo, this guy, on the bench, fine. But he should not be a starter for this Italian national team. By all means, I wish him all the best. But he cannot be your starter moving into this World Cup. We have to find a right-footed defender.
Palestra.
So Palestra is interesting. He's interesting, a young kid. But even that, we have to see him in action.
Yeah.
We have to see him in action. And time is not on our side. That's the biggest thing, because all these games going forward, obviously we're in the playoff position, but these next 2 games are going to be crucial to see the as you said, the mentality of this team and seeing how much they're willing to fight.
Who's the regista?
That's a good point. Where is the regista?
It could be. The only thing that I've seen is Barella when he played for Inter. If instead of playing him
not a
as the
regista.
box to box,
No, it's
but
not.
I have no options.
It's not a
But
regista.
But Anto, I'm out of solutions. Ricci, I know your point is not wrong. I think you should bring Ricci into the team. But to say that he could be a starter when he's not playing for Milan,
But he
And
has
also, he doesn't
Modric.
come
and
in.
it's
But
not
he doesn't
that-
come in.
But that's because it's Allegri.
He doesn't
It's not-
come in.
It's not because of his fault.
That's
it's not
tough.
easy to find spot as a space when you have
tough to
Modric
throw
over
him into
there.
now the Italian national. I'm not saying I'm against it, but it doesn't give me the security that I'm saying,
sorry.
okay, yes, that's the guy.
Marco,
My
in between
problem is
now,
that
Peter, in
Locatelli
between-
doesn't offer you anything.
I'm
Go
not
for it.
arguing.
Locatelli doesn't belong
That's why I
even
said
on the
Barella.
bench.
That's why I said Barella.
Listen.
Why not Barella?
Between now and March, I mean, can we play a couple friendly to find out whether we can plug?
Let's organize it.
No,
Let's
do we
organize a
have any
couple
friendlies
friendlies.
that are
November,
nothing in between,
November
right?
is
It's straight playoffs. You can. There's no
November's the
final.
next games. That's
Peter
it.
said before, time is not on our side. There is a song that says, time is on your side.
What song
What
is
song
this?
is that?
Yeah, there is a song.
Who
Back
sings
in the
it?
vinyl records, right?
A-track.
What the hell?
There is a song.
Who sang it?
I don't remember, but I hear from time to time. So,
hear
from time to
Where do you
time.
hear it?
So,
Time after
the
time.
time is not on our side. So what I'm saying is just scrambling. We're like a bunch of scrambled egg. Not sunny side up, not over easy.
Scrambled.
Scramble.
You
Bam,
know- yeah,
bam,
but those are
bam,
two different
bam.
words.
I think those are two positions that we need to really address. That's not a lot for a team. And I
And
would
that is
also
the
say
best position that you need to address. Non
regista-
abbiamo un regista.
Okay.
We don't have a regista. Hello? We don't have a regista.
It's a bad thing for the
English.
mission.
correct, but we have other components that can be adjusted, and that's why I say like a Chiesa needs to come back in this November camp.
No,
he needs
no,
to come
no,
back.
no,
Yeah,
no.
for sure.
He needs
He
to
will.
come back.
Yeah, when
He will.
once you refuse to come into
lose.
to me, that guy is done.
I'm not honestly, I love Chiesa, but I do agree with Antonio.
He's
that
done.
to me,
He's gotta think about
I
the national
would
team.
rather not to watch the
Has
game with
Gattuso
that
said
guy
anything
playing.
more
Gattuso
about
said,
it?
You kidding me?
Gattuso
He
explained
called him.
He said he called him, and he said he was still feeling
That
a
was
little
at
something.
time.
No, that was a few weeks
It-
ago.
It happened again, and he said I was still feeling something. I think he was going to wait.
He's
he was going to
done.
wait for the Norway game. To me, he says, "Okay, you're playing Estonia. I'm not going to go." Chiesa's decision making has been poor for years. Chiesa's made wrong decision after wrong decision, and to Antonio's credit, I do agree that there's something to be said about somebody that doesn't want to come to the national team. But at the same point, beggars can't be choosers.
No,
And
no.
If we
no.
get to that point, I would take him.
I think Chiesa's got to think about more than himself at this point. He's got to think about the greater good, about his national team for the country he plays for. And a lot of players too, especially during the World Cup year, when they know they're not getting a lot of time, they go on a loan for 6 months. They
point.
go to a different team.
Good point, Mike.
They want to get ready. They know he's one of, if not the only creative players and very important for Italy to succeed in making some noise this tournament. So it will tell me a lot from the next 6 months from the January Mercato what he decides
Well,
to
even
do.
before that, I
But
think your
know,
point is valid.
I'm saying now where it's the last.
But
Maybe
he
4
had
years,
it.
like maybe off time. Now January is literally the
He had
last.
all
time.
of last year.
I know,
though,
but I'm
Mike.
just saying now
He had
where it's the
all
last.
of last year,
it's
and
the
this
last
guy gets
chance.
excluded from a
I say
Champions
a
League
lot
roster.
about him.
Mike, how would you feel if you are just right now? You put your sweat and blood to qualify for the for the chance to participate on the World Cup, and then all of a sudden you make it into the World Cup, and then Chiesa shows up.
No,
But
you
I'm
need him
so-
for March. No, you need it. You would take him for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would.
100%. No.
No,
I
you
mean,
have to.
We're talking about
you cut
playoffs.
this round, yeah, of course. in
I'm
March.
even saying Norway. I'm
able
saying
to.
That's why I'm saying
These
January. Go get a few months under your belt and get ready for. Anto, you can't. Those are two finals.
The
games. You
guy
can't-
doesn't get to play, not even in England.
That's why I'm saying he goes to a different team, whatever the case is. He's got to
So-
think
so
about
I'm-
not himself this time.
To Antonio's point, Nesta came out saying recently, and many have said this, that the group is the most important thing. You need to create a group. There was a beautiful interview as well from, I think it was Steven Gerrard, where England's had their golden generation, where on paper they would win games, right? We go, oh, we're favorites. Oh, it's coming home, blah, blah, blah. But when you don't create a group, when you don't have a good atmosphere, now these are things that we can't tell from the outside. It's difficult for us to really find out, but that is one of the most important things to have. There's teams that when you have that, you could overcome the bad qualities that you might lack.
Even 2006 when Italy won, right? I don't remember exactly about Maldini, if he was injured or not, but he was not called up. Cassano was not called up. So these are decisions where you say, those two players could probably add you a lot of quality.
For sure, it
I would say
changes the game.
Cassano over Iaquinta, let's say in quality, because you already have an Inzaghi. But Lippi decided to go with the players that he wanted to bring, and the locker room was sacred. So these are decisions that Gattuso has to eventually make.
For the sake of argument, where would you plug Chiesa? Who would you take out? Who will not play because of Chiesa? Who will not play?
For me, that's the
First
easiest.
off, the formation, I think even if it was a 4-4-2, Chiesa will fit in that left midfield role. But I would change that formation.
4-3-3?
It all depends. It all depends on how you got to see. But
A good problem to have if you have Chiesa. That's what.
But Chiesa is the guy on the left that's able to do. We don't have another player on the left.
Guys, we're arguing.
We're talking about
it doesn't matter.
Zaccagni. What are we talking about?
Guys, no matter what, Chiesa will be there.
Yeah,
I don't care what formation you're going to come up with. He will be there. This is to that what you just mentioned about the group. I was listening to some of the Italian journalists that work within the team, and they were saying one difference that Gattuso's brought to the squad, which they noticed in 1994, 98, in 2002, 2006. One thing is when players in those squads would have an injury or would be suspended, they would remain with the group. They wouldn't go home. And according to them, in the previous years recently, that has not been the case. So, for example, Bastoni, he was suspended for the game.
Home.
But no, not home. Stayed within the group to try to create that atmosphere. So that's one thing that Gattuso's been in the locker rooms before. He gets the dynamics. He gets why it's important. Again, not something you could quantify by stats, but it's one. I'm trying to find ways to be optimistic. I'm trying to find things to sell myself on why it could be, why we could have somebody that could help the team.
You gotta believe it though.
It's
I
sad.
mean, he's gotta sell the idea to Chiesa. That's what Gattuso has to do.
I'm saying in general. I'm saying
Yeah,
overall.
of course. You need the atmosphere. You gotta.
The team
feel that.
fights, but
I am wondering if the level of dissecting and analyzing or overanalyzing that we have in Italy. Italy, believe me, they overanalyze even how fast you drink a glass of water, whether you use a straw.
Seems familiar.
So what I'm saying is, in the other country, there is a lot more relaxed. They relax a lot more relaxed. I think
that's not true.
Nah, yes, they are.
Brazil, they go crazy if they tie a game. Argentina, Spain.
They're not as crazy as we are. Believe me.
I think it's the same.
Maybe
Depends
because
on
they don't
results.
need. Maybe because they don't need to overanalyze because they know that the team is there, the squad is over there. You know, their chances are pretty good.
If they start losing, they're going to overhattle.
Well, Brazil was doing very bad. There's
Yeah,
a lot of stuff in the
exactly.
media because
Yeah.
they've been doing bad before Ancelotti. So there was a lot of criticism.
One thing that I have to say that really disappoints me.
That had to the pressure to the players too. You know?
It does.
Of course
It
it
does.
has.
Even
It
in
does.
Brazil.
Of course,
Because
yeah.
of the, again, 100%. There was everything to lose. Gattuso even said it for today's game. There was everything to lose. And you could see by the way that they played. One thing that disappoints me is I felt like we were on a good path when Mancini was there. And you remember we had the unbeaten record. We still hold it for the national team with the most unbeaten. I think 38 games, 39 games. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. That's why we were able to maintain it on the first game of the World Cup, which they went on to go win. The thing that I loved about Mancini, and this is to your point of the system not being right, is Mancini, I remember him talking, he said, I want the first team, the U21, the U20, the U17, the U19, everybody, I want them to play similar formations. I want them to play 4-3-3. I want them to have the same mentality so that when you come from one team to the next, it's an easier transition. And you're looking at some of the best teams in the world, Spain, Argentina, teams that are going to be favorites for the World Cup. They all promoted their youth team coach. They all said, all right, a lot of the guys are coming from the youth system. You don't need to be the best coach in the world. Scaloni, De La Fuente, none of them were incredible coaches before they took over the job of the national team. That's one thing that I'm disappointed in, that even though we missed 2 World Cups, why didn't we lay any of this foundation? Why didn't we continue with this? Because I watched the U21 and I love it. I love that they have clear ideas. Why does that not transition to the first team? Even if you're going to play different formations, I'm not so stuck on the formation. It will be a nice thing to have, but it's here. It's the idea of going forward.
I want to just say one thing that I hope that maybe I'm going to start something right now. I think we should have a system, not just in Italy, all over, that the best coaches on the league, they get to direct the Italian national league. I mean,
The national
let's say
team.
the national team.
What does that mean?
Like, for example, we have Gasperini right now. We have Ranieri. We have 3 or 4 of some of the best coaches, Allegri, whatever. We have them. We have them in Italy. I said, when it comes down to the national team, you just step aside with your team and you just take over.
There's contracts on though.
It doesn't matter, Mike. I wanted the new contract.
But which one?
Listen.
Which coach? You name 5
You have
coaches.
to pick which one.
You pick up
2.
2 or 3.
But they have
Three.
different philosophies. Gasperini and Allegri are completely different.
That's
That's
a
why-
that's a
listen.
time off.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Let me
That was a
finish.
part of the job.
Let me finish.
You're giving them overtime.
2-3 coaches that
And then I gotta pay
they
for it.
embrace pretty much the same philosophy.
Yeah, what is this?
One is the
Power
head.
Rangers?
Completely.
One is the head, and the other one is an assistant, and
Yes.
the other one they complement each other.
Assistant. Ass.
coffee.
Assistant.
Who's the one
Who's
that
the head?
gets
Why
Who's the
we
head?
wind up with the head coach? What I would put at the head coach? I would put Gasperini. Yeah.
Is that likely to get in the coffee?
Yeah. Allegri maybe could be the water boy.
Allegri could focus on the defense and Gasperini for the
The
offense.
water
That's
boy's
what I'm
bigger than the
saying.
Wait, what NFL?
Water boy's bigger than the
So-
CEO. No?
Yeah.
Alright,
genius.
so listen. We are now look.
remember that.
Listen to me, please. In a way, we almost there. Look at
Almost.
this.
Where we there?
Look, we got Gattuso over there.
That's-
Gattuso on the bench, and then Bonucci, and then Buffon.
That's worrisome.
Hello. What I'm saying, those
What
are
are you
not
trying to
coaches.
do? I don't
They're
get
not,
it.
They're not coaches.
They're almost
They're
coaches.
almost coaching. They're almost. I'm gonna tell the joke of almost. No, we cannot say that.
I want to put this video and show these coaches this and get their reaction. And record their reaction.
Listen,
Of Allegri being the
we
water boy.
cannot rely on Gattuso. Gattuso need help.
We
Gattuso
do.
is one of the greatest guy. I will have 30 beers in one day with him.
30 beers.
But Gattuso is being given.
You're not
those-
driving.
We
You're
need
nuts.
help. We need help.
I think they have too much help. I think there's too many guys. I'm
I
looking
don't
at
understand what your
You
point
do
is.
not understand
They have a
that,
whole
right?
coaching staff
Good for
on
you.
though. They have a whole coaching team.
What coaching team, Mike? We got nothing. We got nothing.
Barzagli with the U21s. I was looking at him.
Nothing.
We got
Next to Baldini.
Look, Conte gets Oriali all the time. I don't know what the hell does he do, that
He's
guy.
a team manager.
It's a team manager? Or what? What does he manage? The bus?
The bu-
Who
locker
sits
room.
over
the
here? You
locker
sit
room.
over
The
there?
locker room. It
Starbucks
takes care of a lot of
order.
stuff.
Give me a break. We need coaches that are capable to take the job. That a lot of those coaches, they don't want the job. But if you tell Gasperini, Leo, only for the Italian national team, please, you just come and sit over there.
How much you pay him extra?
Don't
Just
worry
sit over
about
there.
that.
How much
Don't
you
worry
can do
about
for free?
it. We waste so much money for
I
garbage.
have a better idea for you. I see your idea and I'm going to raise you an idea.
Go ahead.
I think Antonio would be spot on if we talk not about the head coach of the Italian national team, but I think the federation. I think in the federation, we're lacking football people. Football of understanding where the game should be. There was a great interview with Gasperini in Corriere dello Sport where he talks about something that you're very passionate about, going for physicality, not going for technical players, not building them up. I think they would be very beneficial in the youth program within our federation to start building that up, not thinking about the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, younger, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What are we teaching them?
In the womb,
what kind of
everything.
philosophy? What? All right, Mike.
You gotta think early.
Oh my God.
Mike,
That's what the Norwegians are doing. Look at them. They're scoring 10 goals a game.
Mike is out. Mike is out.
He's out.
No,
he's out.
but I think that's something that we're definitely lacking because, like we're saying, trying to produce a really good coach. We have so many brains. I'll never forget when Roberto Baggio said that he wrote was a 600-page essay on what he would do to change the team, and then they say, "All right, Baggio, get out of here. You know, you're not actually going to change stuff."
You have great idea. We don't need great idea. We need losers to run our federation.
They wanna be
That's why
corrupt.
We have Gravina.
They wanna be corrupt.
Anto's a
That's so far.
They wanna be
Anto, your
corrupt.
coaching is probably more likely, to be honest.
Listen, if I would be coaching over there, Mike, please.
All right, boys.
See me coach, right, Pete?
We've seen you, coach. I think
Champions.
I think we got it all out. Yeah, good.
So, is the hope, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, what do you put Italy, qualifying or
I think they can qualify.
what?
Well, you're
1
saying.
to 10?
Well, we don't even know what the opponents
1
are.
to 10.
I'm confident 8.5 at least.
8.5.
But we don't even know who the opponents
How
are.
about you? 7.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm a sucker.
You're a sucker. No, give a 5. give a number. 5.
I kept saying that we're not going to
I
qualify.
am writing.
I kept saying we're not going to qualify, and now all of a sudden I keep selling myself on Gattuso will get it. I'll give
5.5.
5.5.
There you go.
Five
You,
and a
you,
5.5.
Way sit on the.
5.5.
And what about you?
That was being
think
optimistic.
I'm like a
I was going to say 4.
5
You
and a
don't even know
half.
who- you don't even
Mike,
know who
we've
the
done this
opponent
before.
is.
Mike, we've done this before.
But you don't even know who the
But we've
opponent
done this.
is.
In
We've done
Italy,
this before.
Mike, in Italy, there is a
Mike, we
there is a
lost to
saying
North
that says,
Macedonia.
"Non c'è
But that was
due
a
senza
fluke.
tre." You know that, right?
Oh my God.
Non c'è due senza
There's no
tre.
two without
Right.
three.
Yeah, there is no two without three.
Those
So-
fluke games, they don't come often.
Mike, it happened twice.
But I'm saying like that. This is gonna be the same style against the two finals.
We are not.
It's still early.
We are. Listen, because we are Italy. The pressure is on us all the time. For some reasons, if North Macedonia, for example, or Hungary, or the Czech, what do you call it? That team of the
Czechia.
Czechia, they wind up losing with us. Czechia. If they wind up losing with us, nothing's going to ever happen to them. But if Italy loses and Czechia
We got a piggy in here.
wins, Czechia wins, then troubles, Mike. It's a lot of trouble.
good point.
We have a lot to be ashamed of. Okay, Mike. Czechia never won a World Cup.
But you guys have the odds, Anto.
Yeah, the odds.
Yeah.
But they have a Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Let us know if you think Italy's going to the World Cup. We certainly hope for.